Welcome back to Through the Fire. I'm Ariana, and I'm so excited to be here with my co host as always.
Hey everyone, Travis here. And yeah, it's good to be back in the studio or, wherever we are today.
Wherever we are, exactly. So, today, you guys, we are diving headfirst into a topic that I think is on a lot of people's minds, and sometimes it keeps them up at night. We're talking about the wild, sometimes baffling world of modern dating.
Oh, it's wild, all right. I mean, where do you even start? It feels like the rules, if there ever were any, have just totally changed, right? Or maybe there are no rules at all now. It's just a whole different ball game.
Totally. It's like, we're navigating this maze of apps and ghosting and what does just hanging out even mean anymore? It's a lot, and we're just going to really dig into the unique challenges and frankly the quirks of it all. It's going to be a candid one.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Ariana. I feel like almost everyone I talk to, especially, our age group, if they're single and out there trying to date, they sound exhausted.
Exhausted is the word. It's like a universal groan when you bring up, oh, so how's dating going? And you just get this ugh, or just silence. It's not, oh, it's great, I met someone fantastic. It's more like a sigh.
Right? It's never just, yeah, it's fine. It's always a story, a dramatic story, and it's usually one filled with confusion. Like, what even is the process now? Back in the day, I feel like there were more clear steps. You'd meet someone, you'd go on a date, you'd call them the next day maybe.
Uh-huh. And there was this unspoken understanding of progression. Now it's like you meet someone, you text for 3 weeks, then you maybe hang out, but it's not a date, it's just hanging out. And then suddenly you're in a situationship you didn't even know existed?
Oh, don't even get me started on the situationships. That's a whole nother can of worms we'll probably get into. But yeah, it's like people say the rules have changed, but I honestly think there are no rules. It's just chaos. And then you add the internet to it, and it's exponentially more confusing.
Absolutely. And I think that's why it feels so much more challenging than, say, for our parents' generation. They didn't have to deal with 1,000 options at their fingertips or figuring out if a haha means they're actually laughing or just being polite. The nuance is insane.
The amount of overthinking that goes into a single emoji. I've seen people spend 15 minutes debating whether a laughing emoji should be a face with tears of joy or just a simple smiling face. It's ridiculous, but it's also a real thing.
It is a real thing because it's all about interpretation now, right? And there's no clear intention a lot of the time, so you're constantly guessing. And that guessing game, it's exhausting. It really is. You just want some clarity sometimes,
Yeah, that lack of clarity, it's the biggest contributor, I think, to why people feel so drained by it all. You're putting in emotional energy, and you're just getting back a hazy cloud of maybe. It's not sustainable.
And speaking of that hazy cloud, I think a huge, huge contributor to all of this confusion and exhaustion, Travis, has to be the apps, right? You just can't talk about modern dating without talking about swiping right, swiping left.
Oh my gosh, the apps. It's on one hand, they've completely revolutionized how people meet, right? You can connect with someone you would never, ever cross paths with in real life. That's a huge pro. I've had friends who've met amazing partners through apps.
For sure. The accessibility is undeniable. And the sheer choice too. Back in the day, you were limited to your social circle, maybe work or a bar. Now it's you have millions of people at your fingertips, literally. You can filter by interests, location. It's wild.
Yeah, but that's where I think it starts to go a little sideways, right? Because that endless choice, it paradoxically makes it harder to choose. It's you're always wondering, is there someone better just one more swipe away? and then you never actually commit to anyone because, well, the buffet's always open.
Totally. It's like the paradox of choice. You're given so many options that you become paralyzed by indecision, or you just keep swiping. And then I think it also breeds a lot of like superficiality because your initial judgment of someone is literally based on like 5 photos and a 2-sentence bio.
Yeah, it's just so visual, right? And it reduces people to like a set of stats or a curated persona, and you don't really get like a sense of their actual personality until way later, if ever. And that's where the ghosting thing really comes into play too.
Oh, the ghosting. It's so easy to just vanish. Like if you met someone at a party, it's a bit harder to just disappear off the face of the earth, right? But on an app, it's just a quick unmatch, a block, and poof, they're gone. No explanation, no closure. It's like brutal for people's confidence.
It's truly brutal. And it's so common now that it's almost like accepted as a norm, which is wild. Like, imagine if you just stopped showing up to work without telling anyone. That's essentially what people are doing in their dating lives. And it's because the apps make it so frictionless, you know? There's less social consequence.
Exactly. There's no mutual friends or shared spaces to like run into them again. So the accountability is just gone. And it just makes that initial interaction, which used to be like meeting someone naturally or through friends, so much more manufactured, I guess. Like you're building a profile to market yourself almost.
Right. It's like an online resume, but for your romantic life. And everyone's trying to optimize their resume, you know? And it changes the whole dynamic of how people even approach meeting someone new. It's less organic, more strategic.
And that whole online resume thing you mentioned, Travis, it really carries over into the next stage, doesn't it? Like once you've matched, once you start talking, the actual communication or lack thereof is a whole other beast.
Oh, it's a minefield. Seriously. It's like there are unspoken rules, and then there are rules that are just completely ignored. Texting etiquette, right? Do you respond immediately? Do you wait a few hours to play it cool? Is a single emoji enough? It's exhausting trying to decode it all.
And the delayed responses. Like you send a message and then it's crickets for like 8 hours. And you're sitting there like, did I say something wrong? Are they busy? Are they just not interested? It creates so much anxiety.
Right? It's like in the old days, if someone didn't call you back, you knew. Now it's this ambiguous limbo. And I think that ties into a deeper issue too, which is the struggle with vulnerability. Nobody wants to put themselves out there too much.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. Like, are we afraid of seeming too keen, too invested? It's like there's this unspoken agreement to keep things incredibly casual and non-committal.
Totally. Which brings us to the dreaded situationship. God, I hear that word thrown around so much these days. It's not a relationship. It's not just a friendship. It's just a situation. No labels, no clear expectations, just existing in this blurry space.
It's the ultimate lack of clear intentions, isn't it? Like people are so hesitant to define anything, to say what they actually want. And it leaves one or both parties feeling, confused and often like used or strung along. It's not fair.
No, it's not. And it's so prevalent. I mean, the ghosting we talked about earlier, that's just an extreme form of a lack of clear intention and communication, right? Instead of saying, hey, this isn't for me, they just disappear. It completely erodes trust.
It really does. And I think all of this, the texting games, the delayed responses, the situationships, the ghosting, it all makes it so incredibly difficult to build any kind of genuine emotional connection because you're constantly guarding yourself, constantly second guessing. If you're always wondering where you stand or if the other person is even serious, how can you truly open up? It makes vulnerability feel like a huge risk, and a lot of people just aren't willing to take it. So you end up with a lot of surface-level interactions and not a lot of depth. And then people wonder why they feel lonely even when they're dating a lot. It's because there's no real connection being forged. It's all like a performance or just a test.
Yeah, I mean, it really does feel like a performance sometimes, doesn't it? Like you're constantly trying to put your best foot forward, but also not look too eager, and then you're trying to figure out what they're trying to portray. It's exhausting.
Exhausting is the word. I sometimes just want to scream, can we just be normal for 5 minutes? Like, can we drop the charade? I remember this one time I matched with this girl, and her entire profile was just her holding up different makeup packs she bought. Like, literally every single picture, no face shots, blush, concealer, lipsticks.
Wait, really? Just makeup? No actual photos of her? Maybe one, but it was like really far away, and still, like, the makeup was the star. And I'm just thinking, okay, so you really, really like face paint. Is that all there is? Is this like a makeup tutorial or a dating app? It's just so bizarre, the things you see.
That is wild. I feel like I've definitely seen some profiles where it's like their entire personality is one hobby or just trying to be edgy. Like the ones that are like, I'm looking for someone who hates everything as much as I do. And you're just like, okay, that's a choice for a dating profile.
Right? Or the ones that list all the things they don't want, like if you don't like hiking, or if you're not an early riser, or if you don't eat gluten, swipe left. It's like, okay, well, thanks for telling me all the ways I could potentially disappoint you. It just feels so negative sometimes, right out of the gate.
Totally. It's like everyone's built up these massive walls and super specific checklists. And I get it to a point, like you want to filter out people who clearly aren't a fit. But it almost feels like we've optimized ourselves out of spontaneity and genuine discovery. Like we're trying to find a perfect fit before we even have a conversation.
Yeah, it's like we've gotten so good at rejecting people based on tiny things. We forget that connection sometimes comes from unexpected places. And that's what's often missing. We're so busy protecting ourselves, we're not actually connecting.
Exactly. And then you go on a date and it's like an interview, right? What are your 5-year plans? What's your biggest fear? Tell me about a time you overcame a challenge. Like, can we just talk about what we watched on Netflix last night or something? The pressure is intense.
Oh my gosh, yes. The interview dates are the worst. You're just sitting there mentally ticking boxes, and I always feel like I'm trying to perform. It takes all the fun out of it. And it's not just us. I hear this from so many friends too. Everyone's experiencing this weird shared frustration.
It's true. It's like the humor in it, if you can find it, is in that shared absurdity. Like, we're all out here navigating this wild landscape, and most of us are just trying to find, someone who doesn't just show us pictures of makeup.
Or someone who doesn't ghost after one coffee.
Or someone who, doesn't just show pictures of makeup and then disappears after the first coffee. Speaking of which, though, we've talked a lot about the challenges, and yeah, it can feel like a minefield out there. But I do think there are ways to sort of navigate it more effectively, right? Like a healthier mindset, maybe?
Oh, absolutely, Ariana. I think it's so important to shift our focus a little. Instead of just, complaining about the apps or the ghosting, it's about empowerment. For me, it starts with self-awareness, honestly. Like knowing who you are and what you truly want.
Yeah, I like that because I think sometimes people just dive in without really thinking about what they're actually looking for beyond, like, a relationship. But what kind of relationship? What kind of person truly aligns with you?
Exactly. And not just what you want, but what you bring to the table. What are your non-negotiables? What are your deal breakers? And I don't mean like the superficial stuff about whether they hike or not. I mean like core values. If you're clear on that, it makes it easier to spot genuine connections and, honestly, to spot red flags faster.
That's so true. It's like if you don't know what you're building, you're just throwing bricks around, right? And then I think piggybacking off that is the communication piece. We talked about how communication is weird now, but we can choose to be the ones who communicate clearly.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in the
ambiguity, the situationship vibe, but I think it's okay and frankly necessary to ask for clarity, to say, hey, what are you looking for? Or where do you see this going? It might feel vulnerable, but it saves so much heartache in the long run.
Totally. And setting boundaries too. Like if someone is inconsistent or, only reaching out at odd hours, it's okay to say, hey, that doesn't work for me. Or to just disengage if someone isn't meeting you halfway. Your time and energy are valuable.
Definitely. It's about respecting yourself first, right? And not just like chasing every fleeting connection or trying to fit into someone else's box. Because I think that's where the exhaustion comes from, when you're constantly trying to be someone you're not, or when you're tolerating less than you deserve.
Yeah, and I guess ultimately focusing on genuine connection. Like it's not about the number of matches or, getting the perfect witty opener. It's about finding someone you can actually laugh with and have a real conversation with. Someone who sees you.
Exactly. And sometimes that means taking a break from the apps or meeting people in person through hobbies or friends. Just, remembering that real life still exists and that not every interaction has to be about finding the one. Sometimes it's just about having a fun evening or making a new friend.
Yeah, I think that's super important. Removing that pressure, right? Just let it be what it is. And if it's something more, great. If not, you've still had a good time or learned something. It's not a failure. It's just a data point.
A data point. I like that. So yeah, it's less about trying to win the dating game and more about playing your own game by your own rules with integrity and self-respect. So wow, Ariana, we've covered a lot today, from the general chaos of modern dating to the wild west of dating apps, and then all the way to the confusing communication patterns. It's a lot, right?
It really is, Travis. And I think, for anyone listening out there who's feeling a bit overwhelmed or frustrated by it all, please know you are absolutely not alone. It's challenging for sure. But as we discussed, there is hope and there are ways to navigate it that are more, empowering and less draining.
Exactly. It's about, like we said, knowing yourself, communicating clearly, setting those boundaries, and really, really focusing on genuine connection over, well, everything else. It might take a bit more effort up front, but it's totally worth it.
Absolutely. And we really hope that this conversation has given you some food for thought, or maybe even just makes you feel a little less crazy about your own dating experiences.
For sure. So, thank you. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Through the Fire. We truly appreciate you listening and joining us on these journeys.
Yes, and if you want to keep the conversation going or share your own data points or funny dating stories, you can leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe for more of these conversations. I am on Insta at AI_RIANA, and I'd love to hear from you.
Definitely. And join us next time when we'll be diving into, well, you'll just have to tune in to find out. But it's going to be another good one.
You know it. So, for Travis and myself, Ariana, we're signing off.
Until next time, stay fiery, folks.
Bye.